Hey everybody. So we're back. We're watching Waco. This is episode, I forget what episode. I think it's episode 5 coming up. I think I just finished 4. We're on 4 or 5. I think we're on 5. I might be losing track of time. I might need to eat dinner. But we're going to watch this first. If anybody knows how to fix the OBS so that all my tabs across the top of my internet don't show up, that'd be great. I can't figure out how to be just the Netflix window. I tried doing browser, and when I put the Netflix address in, it puts up the Netflix Waco screen, and then you can see the try for free for 30 days or something like that. So it's not quite what I'm looking for. And display capture and window capture seem to be the exact same thing. So if anybody knows how to fix that, great. I'd prefer not all my tabs show. And as you can see, I always have multiple tabs open. At any rate, let's get into this. I'm curious as to see how things are going to be handled because David said, screw you, basically. Because although the FBI did keep their word and played the entire almost hour-long video of him talking, the networks said, we're not airing all of this, and just played a little bit and did their commentary and called him crazy. And I still can't get over the fact that he idolized the Lawnmower Man. It was a horrible movie. And in doing that, this siege, the standoff actually went on. It wasn't a siege, it was a standoff. Went on for a very long time. There's a lot more tragedy coming on. I didn't realize it was as long as it was. I thought it was like a week, 2 weeks, something like that, but it's actually much longer than that. Let's watch. Something I forgot to mention while I was looking up the Lawnmower Man stuff. So the two perspectives, the two books that most of this is following, one's written by the interrogator, and the other one is written by Thibodeau. So I think that's interesting. Also, apparently the crew went to Baylor to their library and did a lot of the research because they have the largest, I guess, collection of information on the Waco standoff. And so they did a lot of research at Baylor to get that information.
Being here.
Near that old myrtle tree outside.
The one out front?
Yeah. My dad and I planted it when I was 5. He loved that old tree. He always wanted to be buried next to it.
Which confirms me saying that Koresh's cult had been building for years. I'm not sure how old she is now. I believe she's an adult now. She might still be underage. But it was more appropriate for her to be married to Thibodeau than it was for her to be married to David. And they said that arrangement was around when she was 12, possibly 13. It was given permission at 12. I don't know when he actually did it. Yeah, disgusting, no matter what. So if she and her dad planted a tree out front when she was 5 years old, that's how long Perry has been with David Koresh. There really were tanks brought to the standoff.
Let's talk about your interest in this Branch Davidian cult.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there, Ron. I would propose that there's no such thing as a cult. Cult is a judgment word used to talk about somebody else's tightly knit religious group. Nobody in the world belongs to what they see as a cult.
But there are certain.
Okay, so I've been using the word cult. I would still call them a cult. It is true we come up with our labels and titles and judgments and all that kind of stuff based on our social norms, and anything that's outside of our social norms that is confusing or scary to us because we don't know about it, that sort of thing, we do tend to judge fast and put negative titles on them, for lack of a better way of saying it. That being said, it's a cult. And it's not a positive word, cult. We'll put it that way. And if you're saying, why am I saying that? Well, even before the whole raid stuff, him having sex with children, almost all cultures disagree with that. Not all of them, but most of them disagree with that, especially in today's norm. Just trying to think. There are some countries that still have child brides. I believe, I can't remember if Saudi Arabia allows it, if it's still legal, or if they've banned it, but know that it still goes on and doesn't do anything about it. That's just one example. For what it's worth, most cultures, most religions, most countries, most tribes, they all seem to have parallel values, morals, that sort of thing. Some of the issues tend to go a little gray, like polygamy in general. People have issue with it. Some take issue with it because of the biblical side of it. Some people have issue with it because of the legal side of it. I don't know any other examples there. My response is, it's not for me. I'm a very jealous person. I could never be in a polygamist relationship, or the opposite, not the opposite, the term, andro, and it starts with andro or something like that, where the woman has multiple male partners. Polygamy is the man having, I might be mixing that up. Let me double check. I might be talking out of my ass. When a woman is married to more than one husband, it's polyandry. When a man is married to more than one wife, it is called polygamy. Polygon. I don't have my context in. Hold on. Okay. So this is why I'm getting confused. The umbrella term is polygamy, Polygamy, M as in Mary. And so when a man it has many wives, it's polygyny, Polyggyny. And when a woman is married to more than one husband at a time, polyandry. That one I don't have to spell, but you can hear the difference there. So that's why I'm getting confused. Similar words, different meanings. Polygamy is the umbrella term. What was I saying now? Now I can't remember what I was saying. My ear's hurting. Oh, I can't remember what I was saying. There we go. Oh, and this is episode 4. Yeah, I have short-term memory loss, and I can't blame it on pot. I can't remember what I was saying about polygamy. So maybe when I'm editing, I'll figure out what I was saying and I'll voice over, if I can figure out how to do that. But we'll get back to the episode.
Give him a chance to say goodbye either way. Please escort her back behind the checkpoint.
I just want to know if he's all right. His name is David Thibodeau. The news reports aren't releasing any names.
Thibodeau.
Sorry, ma'am.
I was
don't
adding
have
an
any
R
more
in there.
information at this time.
I just need to know if he's...
It's all part of God's plan.
No, I just lost my father. I'm not going to lose you too.
So if I'm following everything correctly, his first wife is the sister of the other one that David married, the young girl, and I can't remember her name, who they married to Thibodeau. To help circumvent the laws and stuff. So they are sisters, with Perry being the father of both of them. So that's interesting. Makes me wonder how much age difference there is between this lady and the younger.
Hello?
What goes through people's heads, you know? I mean, these HRT guys, what makes grown men act like that? They're moaning kids, for God's sake.
We're just built that way. The sad thing is the Davidians can't tell us apart from them.
Just a few bad apples ruins the whole batch.
And I love them. I'm sure you love your kids the same way. And there is literally nothing I want to do to keep my children safe. I'm sure we share that feeling. Now, any way you look at it, this is a bad situation, but I want to make sure that your kids remain safe through it all. So please.
So he's putting a face to his name, humanizing himself, but also doing that outreach of the children and using Steve's love for the children to try to get him to release more children. At least that's my take on it. That's what appears to be that's what seems to be going on from what I'm seeing.
Please work with me. Help me keep your kids safe.
I got a weird question. I'm not producing any milk. And I was wondering if you had some to spare for mine. I'm having the same problem. All the mothers are. You are?
That might be a sign of malnutrition or dehydration. Dehydration would be the start of the malnutrition, especially if they're getting low on food. So that might be what they're trying to indicate here.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, God. All right.
There's the movie. Oh my God.
I can't believe Paresh likes this.
Ah.
I guess because of the stress of all this, the mothers who are nursing have stopped lactating. So we need
Stress could be the issue too.
Could you send some in?
Let me talk to my boss.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
You bet.
No, I'm not throwing them a picnic on national TV.
I don't know what he originally pitched to him. I would think I haven't had any negotiating training. So let me put that disclaimer out there. I would think, no, you couldn't send them any milk because then they'll just stay in there. But negotiate somehow releasing the mothers into their care so that they can get the babies some milk. And somehow, but saying he's going to talk to his bosses to give them some time to make it seem like they're trying to coordinate things or like he's trying to be on his side, that kind of stuff. That's what I would think.
No, mine. You know, that's how we stopped the Clarksville prison raid.
With bacon?
Oh, yeah. It was after day 8, and we took a bunch of bacon and threw it on some coals. The prisoners smelled it and were instantly overcome with hunger. And I told them if they came out, they could eat as much as they want.
If you can hear that sound, that's JoJo in the litter box. Her claws catch on the screen part that the litter filters through, and it does that popping noise. I'm surprised she hasn't broken it yet.
The FBI to deliver milk for their babies. They've all been refused. It seems they are using their own children as pawns in this thing. David Koresh, let us bring milk to those children.
Pawns, Gary? We're using our kids as pawns? Is that what you think?
No, it's not.
Then why are they saying that on TV?
I don't know.
Your boss
Said they have made attempts to deliver milk. Now, when did that happen? Because we've been here the entire time, and I don't recall anyone knocking on our door.
Steve, look, I want to get you that milk. That's the God's honest truth, but you're going to have to let out some of the kids in return.
I'm sorry, Gary.
That's not gonna happen.
So it sucks when one person of a department makes it harder for the other person in the department to do their job. And it seemed like every step forward that Gary gets, it's 2 steps back type of thing. So that was episode 4. I think most of my comments were during it. It seemed long, and I'm tired. I'm hangry. So I'm going to eat some dinner, rest my legs, change the bed sheets, and then depending on what time it is, I may do some more recordings so that I've got stuff to edit during the week. Okay, thoughts. So things just tend to get muddled. There's a lot of I don't know how I want to say it. There and be able to say it without getting a flag. So I'm trying hard not to make this a channel where I swear, and some days that's really hard because I like to swear. But I get real irritated at people who feel like they know best, and they're too impatient to wait for things, and they just want to feel like they have all the control. There's too much testosterone type of thing, although women can have it too, so I don't really approve of that phrase, but since it's the men that I'm frustrated with in this, that's what we'll say. The head guy that is above the negotiator, what's his name, Gary, and the other guy from Ruby Ridge, that's more of the hit him where it hurts type of guy. The head guy above those two, Tony, I can't remember his name. I'm just so irritated with him. Now, that being said, I don't know how much of this has been Hollywoodized, so how accurate the portrayal is that the show is doing of that person, since it's based on a real life person. I don't know. But for this show, I'm irritated with him. As far as Steve, I wish he would get some kahunas, take charge of things, especially when David was having the fever and weakness going on. That was his chance. Seems like David is recuperated and no longer as weak, and I don't think he'll have a chance to be able to get anybody out of there now. He did get some folks out, but I don't know how many people were actually able to be held in that building, how many people lived there. But based on what I know of the ending, it was a lot of people. But they've gotten several children out, less than 50, maybe about 30. That might be too high. Definitely 20, according to the show. So that's good. They've got at least those out. But I think there's more in there, more at risk. Leave my hand alone. We'll put my hand up here. She starts rubbing on it because she wants attention. I don't know what else to say. I'll just leave things at that. Overall, I'm just frustrated. We got some more to go, so we'll see what happens. We're not even through the bulk of the standoff. So, what was the last day that they showed? Day 7 or something like that? Day 8? It's only been about a week, a little over a week. I'm going to rest my ears. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to change the sheets. And by the time I get all that done, we'll see where we're at and see if I film any more this week. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.